through that, it's going to open up. It actually changes the way that you breathe. So try it. Take a nice big smile and notice how you can breathe. Let's breathe in and out a few times with a smile on your face. Breathing in. Hi, everybody. And exhaling. It's hard to not smile when I have the cat here. It's kind of funny. Inhale again. And exhaling. Breathe, inhale. Feel how the smile opens up passageways to get a better breath. Inhale again. And exhale. There's also something about the act of smiling itself that brings you to a kind of fake it until you make it type of thing. So even if you don't feel like smiling, if you put the smile on your face, it starts to convince your body of the, the smile. You get more convinced of it and your mood will change. So know that emotions, body, and mental things are all floating in and out. So they can all be changed in a moment. It's not a set thing. So don't get into the pattern of thinking that your emotion is set throughout this whole crisis. Like, oh, this is how I feel, and I'm going to feel this way throughout the entire crisis. It's not going to be that way. You're still going to experience ups and downs, daily, by moment changes in your emotional state, in your physical state, and your mental state. Okay, so let's start to take some movements now. We'll come to our mats. And we'll breathe in with a big inhale, arms up. Exhale, leaning over to the side. Sweeping across and forward. You can give your little kitty cat a pet there. Inhale, come up. And exhale, coming across. And coming up. Inhale. Exhale. And around a few more times. Each time you come around, let's open a little wider. So I want you to imagine, I heard a great meditation the other day with another yoga teacher, Kenan from Vastu. She had us in the mud of a lotus flower, and knowing that the mud of the lotus flower is a very fertile place, but it's a dark place. And yet the lotus flower blooms out of that darkness, and it decides that it wants to go to the light, and it continues to grow and expand towards the light. One more round now, just taking it all the way around, sweeping up and over. Let's hold there. Keep the arm lifted up, looking up, opening the shoulder, open that underarm. So Iyengar always said that if you had, everyone could walk around with their underarms open, there would be no such thing as depression. It's a really anti-depressive feeling here to have this chest open. And then we float forward. Let's all just come down onto the child's pose position. You can bring your forehead down to the mat and just melt into the ground, allowing your brain to soften into the earth. Allow your feeling of anxiety to just drip into the earth. Connecting to the feeling of being on the earth, in the ground, fingers in the mud. Digging your hands into the wet dirt as if you're gardening. Digging in. And let's pull ourselves up to a rounded back, a cat. Where is he when I need him? He's not here for the moment. Okay, tuck the toes under, press up through that rounded spine. And come into downward facing dog. Bring the belly in. Exhale, bringing the knees down. Inhale, let's come to a kneeling position. Let the arms come up, slide them along your body. So get connected to your physical sensation of your own body here. And then open it up, reach up. Bring the fingers down behind you. And then let them slide down, shoulders down the side of your waist. Do not knock that off, Sarah. Lower down, stretch forward. Get over here. Forehead connects to the earth. Rounded spine. Let's pick up through cat. Tucking toes under. Through rounded spine, press up. Downward dog, elongate. Inhale, exhale, lower it down. Kneeling position. Sliding the hands across and over your own body. Press up. Okay, all the way up, fingers behind you. Arms reach, and then we can look up at the end. Bring it back down, touching the fingers behind your back. Sliding down shoulders, sliding down rib cage. Feel your outline, feel your shape, feel your body in the space. And then one more round like this. Let's stretch forward, forehead connection. All the way down. Let go and breathe. Good. Rounding up into the cat position. Round and lift the kidneys. Let the head drop. Tucking toes under. Press the rounded spine. Lift up. Downward facing dog. Elongate and stretch. Good. Exhale. Dropping knees down. Slide hands tracing the sides of your body. Coming up over, all the way up over shoulders. The fingers to the back, and then take the hands up. Inhale, look up. So you're reaching as if you're the stem of that lotus flower. Let's touch the fingers together. Try to find the palms, the fingertips, without looking. And turning, we exhale, we're twisting over and twisting to the right. Inhale, coming back to center. And exhale, turning and twisting to the left. Inhale, back to center. And let's let the fingers slide down to the back. Connecting over the shoulders. Nice, and all the way down the sides of your body again. Till we come back down. Hands forward, child's pose. Forehead connection. Take a breath. Rounded spine, pick it up, cat pose. Head and neck. Tucking toes, press it up. Downward facing dog, elongate. We'll exhale, lower the knees down. Sliding hands alongside body. Shoulders, fingertips back. Reach up and look up. Inhale, exhale. Let's turn and face the right. Inhale again. Exhale, turn and face the left. Inhale again. So we're the stem of the lotus flower. We haven't blossomed yet, but we're going to in a moment. We're shooting up out of the ground, out of the mud, fingers reaching up. And then as we exhale, let's create the shape of the lotus flower. Bring the hands out to the side. We're twisting with the fingers, and we are now shaping out your full position of lotus. Imagine that you're holding this giant lotus flower just above you. Coming back up to center. Let's turn the other way, create the shape of the lotus flower, opening it out, and you're holding that beautiful flower. Your body is strong. The stem and the core are strong. Let's turn again, open your, may create that shape of flower. Strengthen core, strength coming up out of the mud, strength to create something beautiful out of that muddy surface. Inhale, coming back up, looking towards the light, and we create another flower. Open it out. Good, and let's come back to center. Palms touching, bring the hands to the heart. Good, now let's take a moment to take a seat. Sitting down, any position here that you're comfortable with, even on a chair is fine. We're going to open into Lotus Mudra. So your thumbs are together, the pinkies are together. We spread the fingers away. I like to consider this like a funnel. Bring it right in front of your heart. Smile. Take the energy from your root, from where you're sitting, draw it up the spine with the smile. The upward position of your lips echoes that flower blooming above your head. So for a moment, imagine that this flower has now come up and is blooming at the crown chakra, just above your head. And we'll exhale, bring the fingers back down to the heart. Take the fingers under your chin and hold that chin lifted just with the fingertips. We're going to turn again in the direction of the right. Inhale, coming back to center. We're trying not to shift, so we want to keep that stem of our lotus flower perfectly straight. Come back to center. Keep your chin kind of neutral, so don't let your head tip back, but bring your head neutral. Turn. Back to center. Inhale. Exhale, turn. Inhaling back to center. Good, and let's let this one open. The big flowers again. Release it down. So you might feel a little bit of something happening in your shoulders, so we're going to do one at a time. Shoulder roll, and the other side, shoulder roll. So just want to imagine what it's like to be that lotus flower, where you have this very narrow stem, and then you're holding the larger piece of your body, your flower, above you. Okay, so let's go back into downward facing dog. Walk your feet back as far as you need. Let's take a nice long downward dog and then widen it out. So take your feet to the width of the mat. Take your hands wide as well. And stretch. Let your knees be slightly soft. Let your heels be lifted here. Relax and work into the shoulder, the feeling of the shoulder. We're going to walk the left hand to the center of the mat and allow the right arm to lift up. Exhale, bringing it back down. Now walk back to the wide position for a moment and breathe. Let's take the right hand to the center of the mat. Open the left arm. And now you may not have the same rotation on both sides. And that's okay. Bring the hand down. Walk to the width of the mat. Bend your knees. Let's take a really awkward position now. Bent knees, wide feet, wide hands. Awkward downward dog. Relax the head and neck. And release. Come back to your normal position of downward dog. And let's let the right leg lift in the air.
bending the knee and turning onto the outside edge of your foot, opening wide, and you can touch down if you like. Open wide. Underarm, open, freedom of the emotions. Let's come back around, kick it back up, and release it down. Okay, left side, taking the left leg up, turning onto the edge of the foot. Either hover there. On this side, I'm just going to hover, I think. Nope, I'm going to touch down. Open the arm. And release. Exhale. I think it's harder to hover there. And let's come back down to child's pose. All the way down. Stretch it out. So come into any version of child's pose. You could wide knee or knees close together. Good. Pressing back up. Coming to tuck your toes under. Let's take your right leg in the air for that three-legged dog. Bring the knee forward and drag it along the mat. We're coming into pigeon. Sitting in pigeon. If you need something underneath your thigh, place it there. We're going to sit in pigeon for a moment. Walk the fingers in, press up. Good. Exhale. Take your right hand forward. Step the left foot to the back of the mat and flatten it out so that it's facing across the mat. We'll drag the knee right underneath your hip. And inhale, lift up. If you want to challenge yourself, you could try taking your foot off the ground and see if you can balance there. It might be easier if you shift your position of your foot to do that. So shifting your foot to the side helps you to balance. And let's place the foot down and come up to reaching back up to the ceiling. So now we have our arm long against the long leg, lifting up and looking up at the hand. Exhale, bring the hands down. Let's tuck the toes under. Press up into downward facing dog and let it float back down. Good. Other side. We lift the left leg in the air. Exhale, bring the knee forward, forward, forward. Sitting into pigeon pose and press. We're lifting up. Hello, everyone. Nice to see you all. Exhale. Okay, slide left hand forward. We're going to turn so that our foot is flat down on the mat. Drag the knee under the hip. Line it up. Make sure right under the hip. Opening that arm to the ceiling. Again, if you flip your foot back behind you, it's easier to take this to a stretch, reaching off the ground if you choose. If you keep the foot in line, you're probably going to be having more challenge with that. So you can keep your foot on the ground if you choose. Okay, coming up, we're sliding into this one now, lifting up. Arm reaches to the ceiling. We stretch the other arm down the leg and get a nice stretch for the side body. Imagining you can imagine this as the roots of your lotus plant, the stem and the hand reaching up, and actually open the fingers so that you have the flower from your hand is now creating the shape of the flower. Reaching up is also a really power symbol. You've seen this kind of lifted arm reaching or grabbing something, so it's like a very powerful symbol. We're asking for help, but we're also helping ourselves or reaching towards the light. And then we'll dive down, come back up into downward facing dog. Okay, oh great. Hi there. Let's come back to seated position. So we do the half-hour class in this yoga lounge, so that was a little bit active. For some of them, we come down a little sooner. But here we are, we're going to sit in a comfortable seated position and take a nice forward bend of your choice. So it's your own choice whether you want to take a forward bend with both legs. You can do Baddha Konasana, seated forward bend, or you can even wide angle it, and any one of those. But let's hold it for a good 8 breaths. Also, you can take a blocker bolster, placing your arms on something. But when we're nearing the end of those breaths, let's take that last 1 or 2 to see if we can just maybe stretch just a little bit further. Pressing up now, let's come back up to seated position. Good. Okay. And slowly we're going to roll onto our backs now. So you can go ahead and go down slowly. Slow it down as much as you can. We're going to roll into happy baby. So bring the feet up. Yes, happy baby. And grab the outside edges. Let's rock side to side. So this is one of my favorite poses, really. I love the feeling of rocking on the back and getting that real nice massage on the kidneys, really slow it down. So 1 or 2 times we're going to take it to a slow roll. So come all the way over to the fetal posture. Move a little bit there, Sarah. Good. Okay, come all the way to the fetal posture, and then we're going to press ourselves to roll all the way, really slow it down. Slow. All the way to the other side. Really work your shoulders. When you get halfway to the other side, your knees are still lifted. Kind of do a little bit of movement and kind of get in there, in the inside of your scapula if you can. So you rock back and forth a little bit. You're almost kind of leaving it in supine twist. In other words, leaving the shoulders down just before you get them drag off the ground, and then come slowly roll to the other side. And coming all the way back. When you get to your back, you can lie down for a resting pose. We'll go through a guided sequence tonight, a meditation or a guided relaxation. So finding the most comfortable lying down Shavasana, having your hands in a gesture of receiving, palms facing up, thumbs out, space between your arms and your body, toes, your feet flap open. Place something under your knees if you like that feeling.
So we're going to imagine that we are in a muddy surface or a very soft ground, maybe sand, something that feels very comfortable to lie in. Cooling, but not too cool. And we have a gentle source of sunlight. Again, sunlight, but not too much, not too bright, not too hot. Definitely not burning. So we've placed ourselves in the perfect environment in order to nurture, being held by the Mother Earth. We can hear and we can feel gentle breezes. We can hear birds. We can hear rustling leaves. All the beauty of nature surrounding us, supporting us. And we know that we can let anything go. We know that we can let any of our worries go into the earth, and the earth will take them and use our anxiety as a fuel source. As it always, energy is just energy, and it just will recycle one way or the other. So we don't need to feel guilty or feel bad because we might feel negative emotions from time to time. We just let them be. And we let them pass through. So it's in the resisting that we create more problems. So when we stop all the resisting, we let go of control. Then peace. It's not going to be no challenges. It's not going to be never ever again will we have a problem. It's just going to be easier to handle those things. That's what we look for. That's what this practice can bring us. We've decided that we feel much like one with that place that we're lying. We feel one with the earth, one with the Mother. And we know we can come back to that feeling at any time. And it's ours for the having. So wherever you are, you bring yourself back now to your body, lying where you are in space. Bring yourself back to the room. And in order to not be disrespectful of our environment, let's take a moment to really have gratitude for the room that we're in, and for the space that we have, for the shelter that we have. And just that same sense of nurturing and comfort that you felt in your imaginary ground, let's bring that to our own personal environments. Bring that same sense of nurturing and gratitude for that nurturing. Your environment comes alive. So your energy sends out that vibe, and your walls, your paintings, your whatever you have, your books, everything is coming alive because of your energy. You know how when you're a child, you think everything has, you anthropomorphize everything. Everything is like real and has feelings. You know, all the inanimate objects. I was like that a lot when I was a kid. But it's fun, you know, it's fun to come to that place of a beginner's mind and go back to that feeling of what it was like to be a child. What was it like to be new, to be that beginning of that lotus flower at the very early stages of the blossom, and to enjoy it once again. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. Hope you enjoyed our yoga lounge. Namaste. And I do a longer class for Studio 108 on 6:30 Tuesday night. So you can go to that Fit Degree and find us there, and take a longer class. We appreciate your support. Everyone, namaste. And Sarah says, bye-bye. Let's go now.